Story 1. The Secret Lives of Library Cats in Ancient Alexandria. Section 3. The echoes of a Purr legacy in the dust of ages. As we draw to a close on the tale of the Library of Alexandria and its silent, whiskered guardians, we confront the most enduring mystery, its ultimate fate. The grand narrative of its destruction by a single, dramatic fire, often popularly attributed to Julius Caesar, or later to zealous religious leaders, is, in truth, a simplification. History, especially ancient history, rarely unfolds with such clear-cut finality. Instead, the decline of the great library appears to have been a long drawn-out process, a slow erosion by multiple forces, rather than a singular, cataclysmic event. And within this gradual fading, the diligent work of the library cats, once so essential, became increasingly irrelevant against the larger tides of change. Imagine, if you will, the library not as a single, immutable entity, but as a living organism. Like any organism, it could suffer from chronic illness. The chronic illness of the library was a combination of financial neglect, political instability, intellectual fragmentation, and the sheer physical degradation of its vast collection. Subsequent Roman emperors, less invested in maintaining the Ptolemaic legacy, might have reduced funding. Internal power struggles within Alexandria itself could have diverted resources, and as the Roman Empire expanded, new centers of learning emerged, diminishing Alexandria's unique intellectual draw. Scholars, once flocking to its halls, might have found opportunities elsewhere, or simply found the journey too perilous. The Christianization of the Roman Empire, particularly from the 4th century CE onwards, also played a significant, albeit nuanced role, as pagan temples and institutions were systematically dismantled or converted. The library, deeply intertwined with the pagan intellectual traditions of the Hellenistic world, undoubtedly faced pressure. The infamous destruction of a daughter library and temple complex in 391 CE by a Christian mob is often cited as a major blow to Alexandrian learning. While the main library may have been distinct and not directly targeted in the same manner, the broader cultural shift away from classical learning towards Christian theology certainly impacted its patronage, its collection policies, and ultimately, its intellectual vitality. You can picture the remaining pagan scholars, fewer and older, perhaps huddling in the dwindling reading rooms, while outside, the city's focus shifted decisively. In this atmosphere, the continuous battle against papyrus decay remained, the meticulous work of copying and recopying scrolls. Once a vibrant industry within the library, likely slowed as funding dried up and skilled scribes became harder to find or less inclined to dedicate themselves to texts deemed pagan or irrelevant. Each generation, therefore, inherited a slightly less complete, slightly more brittle collection than the one before it. The cats, still prowling, might have found fewer active scholars to observe, fewer new scrolls to guard, their once grand domain slowly shrinking and turning to dust. Their purrs would echo in increasingly empty halls, their hunting grounds perhaps shifting from teeming shelves to neglected corners. To what became of the cats themselves? As the library's human population dwindled and its structure, perhaps, began to fall into disrepair, their purpose would have become vestigial. They would have continued to hunt, driven by instinct. But the sheer volume of prey, the knowledge-destroying rodents, would have declined proportionally with the decrease in precious papyrus. Some cats might have become fully feral, merging with the general street cat population of Alexandria, their lineage as guardians of wisdom lost to memory. Others, more domesticated, might have attached themselves to the remaining few scholars, or caretakers, living out their days as simple companions rather than vital pest controllers. Their long, unbroken service to human knowledge simply dissolved, absorbed back into the ebb and flow of the natural world. The legacy of the library cats, therefore, is not found in grand monuments or specific historical records, but in the enduring principle they represent, the unglamorous, persistent effort required to preserve knowledge. They symbolize the thousands of unheralded individuals and methods that have, throughout history, kept the flame of learning flickering. From the diligent scribes who painstakingly copied texts by hand for centuries, to the anonymous librarians who organized vast collections, to the humble cats who kept rodents at bay. The preservation of knowledge is often a testament to quiet, consistent, and deeply practical labor. Consider the parallels to our own time. Even in the digital age, where information seems effortlessly accessible and infinitely reproducible, the challenges of preservation remain. Digital rot, outdated file formats, and the fragility of servers pose threats to our vast digital libraries. We no longer rely on cats to guard our data centers, but the underlying principle of constant vigilance against unseen threats, of proactive maintenance, and of dedicated resources for preservation remains absolutely critical. The boring work of data backup, migration, and cybersecurity is the modern equivalent of the Alexandrian cat, unseen, often unappreciated but utterly essential. The story of the Library of Alexandria and its cats is a profound meditation on the transience of human endeavor and the resilience of knowledge. While the physical structure and much of its original collection may be gone, the idea of Alexandria as a hub of learning and a repository of the world's wisdom persists. It continues to inspire, to remind us of humanity's boundless curiosity and its equally boundless capacity for creation and destruction. The cats, in their silent, instinctual way, played their part in this grand drama, reminding us that even the smallest creatures can have a profound impact on the course of history, protecting the very foundations upon which civilizations are built. And so, we are left with a quiet reflection. The dust of millennia now settles on the ground where the great library once stood, perhaps mingled with the very atoms of the papyrus scrolls it once housed. The city of Alexandria still thrives, a modern metropolis built upon ancient foundations. But if you listen closely, perhaps late at night, when the city's modern hum quiets, you might almost hear the faint, timeless echo of a soft purr, a distant reminder of the quiet, furry guardians who once patrolled the whispering stacks, ensuring that the light of knowledge would shine for just a little while longer. The mundane, the quiet, the unseen, these are often the true pillars upon which the great monuments of history are built.